Sometimes I'll get asked by friends for help getting their snowblower or lawnmower going for the season, and they'll tell me it's not starting, it's having trouble starting because it's been sitting a really long time. Well, I can tell you it's not always, it doesn't always have to do with how long it's been sitting, but rather probably how you've treated it throughout the season, say in between each mow or after each snowblow, or how you stored it after the season. Well, then people ask, well, Dan, why don't you seem to have trouble with lawnmowers, snowblowers, four-wheelers, or whatever? Well, first off, I always make sure to run high-octane gas in it. Second of all, when I'm done mowing, I don't like to store it with gas. I like to run the gas tank out. I only try to put enough in for what's going to get the job done. And furthermore, I don't go to the gas station and buy, say, 5 gallons of gas, let that sit all summer long, and then keep filling my lawnmower all summer long on that same 5-gallon can of gas. Say, well, it's not old gas in the lawnmower. I just put it in there. Yeah, but you bought the 5-gallon can of gas back in April. Now, high-octane gas will last longer than the regular 87 or 88 or whatever it is. It's a lot better for your small engines. That's all I ever run in my small engines. So when I'm going to the gas station to buy gas for my little push mower, I usually take a gallon can of gas and fill the can up about every other time, put in the mower what I need to use, and burn it all up. Second of all, when I store it for the winter, a lawnmower, when I store it for the winter, I'm going to make sure and burn all the gas out of it. Now, there's a lot of other experts who would say, oh, you shouldn't just store it dry because you've got rubber seals in your carburetor. They're going to dry rot. I'll entertain that thought. I'm not going to disagree with them, but I'm also going to say what I've been doing for years works. Now, I've got this mower here. That thing's been sitting in a storage unit for about 6 years. I have not pulled the recoil on it in 6 years. I haven't put gas in it in 6 years. I ran it empty and put it in the storage unit. We're going to go over to it right now. First thing I'm going to do before I even put gas in there, of course, I'm going to check the oil. I've already checked the oil. It's got oil. After that, we're going to check the spark plug before I even try to start it. So learning to read your spark plug is always a good indicator of whether you're running rich or lean. If you're lean, you'll have a white dryness right here. I don't even know if you guys can see this with the sun right now. It's a beautiful day out. But if you're running rich, it's going to look wet and black and like a wet, oily, wet look and black. If it's running rich. If it's running right, if it's running perfect, it's going to be kind of a chocolate brown. And right now, on the top here, there is a little black carbon buildup on here, but right here on the top, there actually isn't a lot of carbon buildup. Oftentimes, if it's black and wet looking, it's considered like a fouled plug, and you'll have a lot of trouble starting it. So I will take just a little emery cloth or Scotch-Brite, get some of that carbon off there, and then I'll hit it with some brake cleaner, acetone, or starting fluid. So I've got some starting fluid here. Now, I'm not a big fan of just spraying this wide open into the engine, but I got no problem. Let's just clean this plug off a little bit. And of course, I'm going to let this dry. And of course, this stuff doesn't take long to dry. So I've got the spark plug back in, and I don't even have the plug wire on right now. Let's go over here to the primer bulb. I'm just going to push that, and hopefully you don't hear anything. That's exactly what I want. That's showing you that there's no gas in there right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give this recoil just a couple pulls. just a couple nice pulls, and that's gonna turn the engine over a few times. That's gonna get the cylinder stroking, the piston stroking, and get some oil lubed up around there. Of course, if you're gonna store your engine a long time, a lot of people will recommend putting a few teaspoons of tranny fluid in there. That's fine. I didn't do that here though. So now I'm gonna put a little gas in the tank, and we're gonna prime it and hopefully start it on, I'm gonna say within 2 pulls. Okay, we've got some gas in the tank now. Let's hit this primer bulb. All right, now I hear it squirting in the carburetor. Okay. I forgot to put the plug wire back on. Mind before matter. And of course, there's I can already smell kind of an oily smell coming out of the exhaust. That's not a big deal. That'll burn off in a little bit, and it'll start smelling real good. So yeah, that's about it. How to take care of your lawnmower. Again, some people are going to say don't store it bone dry. Put high octane gas in there, fill it full with some Sta-Bil. That's probably a good option too. I've done that, but as you can see, once I actually put the plug wire on, it only took 1 pull. And it really comes down to when people say, Dan, I need help getting my lawnmower started, it really comes down to you got old gas in the carburetor. So now I got to run some carburetor cleaner through, whether it's Seafoam or Gum Out or whatever other brands are on the market. People are going to argue over what's better, but if you're just running high octane through there all the time and running it dry, you don't really need to run carb cleaner through there often. But majority of the time when people can't get their small engine started, I just pull the spark plug off, I sand some of the carbon off, clean the carbon off, brake cleaner, shake it off, let it dry, put it back in, and it starts. All right, have a good day.